Hey guys, no need for an intro. We're just gonna hop straight into the video, but don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Alright y'all, so right here y'all just seeing me bleach my frontal. So I can't remember exactly the bleach powder I use, but I will have it linked below. I know that I got it from a beauty supply store, and it wasn't BW2, but it came in like a white container, and it was like the blue one. I don't know the name of it, but I'll make sure it's linked below. And I use 50 volume developer because that's all that I had. I wouldn't recommend using 50 volume developer if you've never bleached a frontal before or never bleached anything before. I wouldn't recommend using 50 volume developer, but I used it because I bleach frontals and closures all the time. So right here you can kind of see the name of the stuff. I think I do show you in another clip, but anyways, it'll be linked down below. But for beginners, I would definitely recommend using 30. I feel like 30 isn't going to process too fast, and it's also not going to process too slow. I'm not exactly sure how long I left the bleach on my frontal. I know it wasn't as long as I usually leave it on there for, because I use the 50 volume developer, but normally I leave it on there for about 25 minutes. I believe I left it on there this time for maybe about 10. But like I said, even for experts, I wouldn't recommend using 50 volume developer, just because you literally have to watch it, and you'll see what I'm talking about after the fact. So right here, y'all just gonna see me getting the needle and the thread together, and I'm also trying on the frontal just to see how much to cut off, so I can go ahead and cut it off, so I won't have to like sewn it and then have to mess up the stitching and stuff. So I just try it on ear to ear, see how good it fits. I only do that with frontal units, because you don't have to do it with closure units. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Just a quick tip, just try the frontal on from ear to ear and measure it, kind of, sort of, and then cut the excess off before you even sew it down. So right here, you're going to see that I take a tape measure, and what I do is I put it behind the closure frontal. Since this video is about a frontal unit, I'm going to say it frontal. I put it behind the frontal, and I just literally T-pin it on there, so that I take a marker. I either take a white, silver, gold, any marker that'll show up on that black cap, I take it, and I just mark out. And I wish I could show you all, but I think I can insert a clip, but I just literally mark it out by the inch, so that my wefts aren't too close or too far apart, and I can just use that as kind of like an outline on where I'm going to put the tracks at. It's a very helpful tool, a very helpful tip to use. I would definitely recommend using it if you're a beginner, and even if you're not a beginner, I do know that it's helped me speed up the process of making my units, and it also helps me be able to add all the hair in that I want to add in. So again, right here, I'm just showing you all like what I was talking about before, where I just marked by the inch. Like I said, it just really keeps you from having to try and measure out how far you want the tracks. It makes sure that your tracks have an even amount of space in between. So right here, y'all just see me. I have more than one needle, which is a very helpful tool when making a wig, whether it's a closure or a frontal unit. It's a very helpful tool to have more than one needle threaded, because it just makes the process go by so much faster. Like literally to thread like 5 needles and knot them and everything, it took me about 15 minutes. So imagine how long it would take if after each track I had to thread a new needle. Honestly, I would recommend you get after you do this process where you mark the cap, I would honestly recommend that you get a needle for each line, just because then it'll make the process go by even faster. But I just do either 3 or 5 depending on how I feel. Alright, so right here, y'all just see that I sewed the frontal on. I do very close stitches just because I want to make sure that it's secure, that it's going to last a long time and everything. So I do very close stitches. Especially for a frontal, I would recommend doing close stitches. I wouldn't recommend doing them too far apart, just because your frontal may not lay as flat if you do your stitches very far apart. So right here is why I said not to use 50 volume developer unless that's like your last thing you can get. But here's a way to fix an over bleached closure or a frontal where the hair on the frontal is bleached. You can just take a marker, like a permanent marker. If you really want to do it, you can take some black dye, anything that's black that's gonna stick to the hair. You can really do it. When doing it with anything though, because it's black and because I use the HD frontal, I would recommend that you take your time. Like, I know I speeded it up, but I really did take my time doing that. I did want to throw that in there though. So in this clip right here, I'm just literally showing you guys that I'm literally just sewing the tracks on the lines that I created. It's really that simple. this clip right here, I'm literally just closing off the wig. So basically what I'm doing is I like to take my lash track and go from ear to ear, like right at the frontal, and I cut that track in half. Meaning I cut the stitching that holds the two tracks together. If you ever look at a track, it's really two wefts together. So I'm literally cutting that stitching so that I can get the flattest closure possible. So right here, all I'm doing is cutting the cap that's underneath the frontal so that you won't be able to see it. It'll look like skin instead of sitting on a black cap. When you're doing this, you want to do this very slow and very tedious because you don't want to mess your wig up. Because if you cut one stitch, your whole wig, not the whole wig is going to unravel, but your frontal is going to unravel and you're going to have to sew it back on there. So I would just say, take your time, and I know I sped this part up, but it literally took me about 5 to 10 minutes just because I like to make sure that I wasn't cutting any of my stitches. Right here, I'm just literally showing you guys the inside of my wig, and now I'm about to show you how I pluck it. So first I start by spraying water all over the hairline, even though the other side, because I pluck one side at a time, the other side's going to be dry by the time I start plucking it. But I just start by plucking just a little in the front, and then in a minute you'll see that I part the hair and pluck backwards, and then I'll pluck the front section as well, so that I get both sections plucked even. And then I'm going to switch and do the same thing to the other side. So right here I'm just showing you the before and after, and if you would like to see how I style and install this wig, tune into my next video. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.